Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 594 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined, as always, by two industry leaders, Stephen Kobracki and Ben Funky Askren. What's up, fellas? How we doing on this fine Wednesday? As you know, Ben, if you lived here, you could partake in Breakfast Taco Wednesday. But,
will there be tacos on Saturday?
I mean...
I will be there Saturday and Friday night. You guys need to have maybe like a catered dinner for all the athletes with delicious tacos,
ice cream social for everybody.
Well, I've been cutting back on the ice cream because I started working on a little bit. Remember I told you this maybe a month ago ish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm not working out too hard. You know what? I will tell you, I have been working out every day. As a guy who doesn't have anything in front of him, it is kind of hard to get motivated to like work like I used to work,
Yeah.
It's like, I got my 30-40 minutes in. I'm happy with this.
What do you think is the difference for people like you think about someone like Gable, where like exercising and working out is like if they're not doing that, it's like something's off. They like have to get the workout in. There's a lot of wrestling examples like that. Why do you think
There's a lot of wrestlers like that?
Yeah, why do you think it is for some of those people?
I don't know. And you know what's so funny is earlier in my life, I would have felt that same way. Like my wife had this rule: if we were on vacation, I had to go work out because if I didn't, then she would think I was too insane, So every day I had to go work out. So I didn't bug her too much. That would get crazy. Now I think I'm so I don't want to say obsessed, but like I have so many other things going on business wise and podcast wise that I think that occupies my day, and the working out is almost a distraction from that.
Interesting. That's
funny.
funny.
It's weird. I've tried to reconcile it in my own head also.
So in your own
you work out every day, Miles? You must. I seen a picture of you on the beach.
I do. I do something every day.
Okay.
Could be very small. It's normally something very small, but I do something every day. It's kind of like my thing.
Bracky, he just jams monsters. He doesn't work out.
Yeah, I play ping pong. I'll tear up everyone on spike ball.
Ping pong is not a workout, Brett. Okay, maybe spike ball.
Spike ball is when we play here. No matter
spike ball is for sure.
You sweat.
By a workout.
Yeah, especially as long as we
play.
Especially
in the summer when it's 100 degrees outside
on the concrete. It's very warm.
You'll
run or something every now and again. Are you used
to?
Nope. You don't do nothing.
Are you cold today? Well, you got a jacket on. What's your problem?
It's raining today.
Oh, it's rain. I didn't think it was supposed to rain in Austin. Son of a. Better be nice when I come this weekend.
It will be. It's gonna be nice this weekend.
I am really looking forward to being able to like really wrestle again. So I'm starting to kind of work with some kids where I'm not really wrestling. I'm kind of like, letting them do some moves and giving them a feel. I'm really, really, really looking forward to be able to like really wrestle again. That'll be so much fun.
So would you rather see, for me, I would rather just work out more so I can eat what I wanted. Like I wouldn't want to cut back.
Yeah.
But you don't want to do that?
Well,
you're cutting out ice cream. That's disappointing.
I don't really have the capability to work out at a really high level because of my hip yet. So
okay.
Maybe eventually. Yeah, maybe eventually.
Do you have an elliptical? That's Spay's magic. That's his secret weapon.
I got one of those bikes right behind here. This knockoff brand for what's the main one?
Airdyne?
No, the ones that connect to the internet.
Oh, Peloton.
I have a knockoff Peloton. They said they were sponsoring me.
Called a Pelican.
Nice fancy bike, and then they never sponsored me, and I just got this bike sitting in my basement that I ride once in a while.
All right, now you just make fun of them, call them knockoff Peloton.
Well, I didn't tell you who it was. I didn't tell you who it was.
All right, there you go. Okay.
Let's talk about wrestling. Hey, let's talk about some propaganda.
Oh, boy. So, if you haven't seen it, Tom Brands, I don't know if it was Media Day / but the main thing was Spencer Lee got his Hodge Trophy, which was awesome. Although, sort of, I'm sure a little disappointing because normally it's like 50-yard line of an Iowa football game and the raucous ovation. But either way, it was cool to see him get recognized for that. But, Tom, I liked his opening. He kind of he threaded the needle well on. I don't know if you listened to the whole thing, Ben, but he talked about.
I did
how
not.
we
I got texted a whole bunch, Christian, about different things that he said. Of course.
Okay, so the beginning kind of State of the Union was just about how he gave this like impassioned plea to the NCAA that like you cannot not finish the season. You've got to start it. He made kind of he alluded to like these are young people. There's the risks are lower with them, and there's a risk in everything, right? Which are that's something we've kind of been talking about throughout. And man, I agree so strongly that there's got to be there can be a no way they stop 2 seasons in a row short of NCAAs. Even ramping up this much, and then pulling the rug out from underneath them would be just a devastating misstep by them, and so disappointing.
So, Chris, I guess when I was listening to this, I didn't feel like there's any real opposition right now that's saying we should stop the season. I knew kind of last season, obviously, it came out of nowhere at the very, very end, but this, there hasn't been anyone who's saying we should not be having season, is there? Because I have not heard those things. Obviously, my take is that AWA has been open for 7 months. We've had 0 spread, so I don't see the danger all that much with young people. But there hasn't been anyone pushing back, has there?
No, I don't think so. It's not like, well, I mean, who is it's bureaucrat decision makers at the NCAA they're the ones that have the power, right? Or the university presidents, not people on Twitter. So you're not going to hear in my opinion, like that there's major momentum for stopping. But no, I don't think it's out there the way it was a year ago. But still, I think it's in the back of everyone's mind as numbers go up and they go down, and what's going to happen. But the fortunate thing is, like, I feel like football is just so much more likely to have issues with it. And even though Ohio State was 6-0 and it was kind of a joke, and all these teams had little kind of isolated problems, but it was never like widespread, huge issue type of thing. So that makes me think wrestling is going to be in a good shape. And another thing that he talked about, which is very true, is like wrestling is so far ahead in a lot of this stuff because your own personal care and cleanliness is a really important part. Cleaning the mats, cleaning the surfaces is an important thing. So it's kind of in some ways ingrained in that there's like a risk of transmission of different things, not necessarily a freaking coronavirus, but that we're kind of ahead in some of these measures. And he was talking about the compliance and how much they were getting tested. It was once a week, and then he said 6 times a week at different.
I heard 3 or 4 times. I had one of my parents last night told me his daughter, she runs at a Big Ten college. I'm blanking on which one right now, but she was getting tested like 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure Coach Torella, when they were down here with the 8-man with Pantelio and Bajrang, he said something to that effect. Like they're getting tested like six times a week or something. So
it seems so excessive, doesn't it?
I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
this is the way that they came up with to they thought would stop the outbreaks, was having all this testing. And as you saw with football, it did not.
It didn't help?
No. They had all these programs having all kinds of issues. Games were canceled all the time in the Big Ten.
Well, it seems like it would mitigate it to an extent. If you're getting that kind of instant feedback all the time, you're like, okay, we've got a problem, shut everything down before it. So instead of like it getting to 5 people, it doesn't get to like 20, 30, 40 people. I don't know.
It didn't stop games from being canceled. So,
yeah. So it was about that, and then what?
Well, I mean, there's nothing to disagree with so far. That's all good. I don't know that you'd have anyone in the Division I level disagreeing with what he said there, that how important it is. And I don't want to say low risk, but obviously there's not a lot of college athletes getting sick from this. There's not a lot of high school athletes getting sick from this. So let's get on with it.
Yeah, I agree from a very selfish point of view.
Tyler's got the little 30-second.
Well, let's tee it up before we show it.
We just did. This is him talking about got to get the
okay, got it.
finish.
Got it.
We got to get to the end. We have to get to the national tournament. Are you listening, NCAA? Are you listening? Because these are young people that aspire to things. And they're in an age demographic that it's not as risky. It's always risky. It's risky when I drive from here to the arena. I might get sideswiped by a cam bus. All right, because I'm not looking. And we got to get to the end this year. And then we got to get to Tokyo. And I'm passionate about that. It cannot go down the way it went down a year ago.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
He's
Nothing
right.
to argue with there at all.
No.
That was a great job. Yeah. Oof. I don't even want to get started down this path, Christian. Let's just go next topic.
Okay, next topic.
Yeah.
So why don't we haven't really talked. We've kind of alluded to this, the Spartan Combat card here. And, it was originally going to be Yianni versus Austin O'Connor. And then it looks like, I think UNC had some sort of a COVID protocol situation that's prohibiting them from having their duel last week against Campbell. I don't even think we mentioned that, but it was going to be the first duel of the year last Friday.
What duel?
Campbell versus UNC.
That didn't happen?
No, it didn't
No.
happen.
Who did Campbell wrestle? Wait, they wrestled Virginia Tech last weekend.
The next day.
That was already on their schedule.
Mm.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So they had, I forget, I read the thing recently, but they had a COVID protocol issue, weren't able to wrestle. So, and then they're not able to wrestle in the Spartan thing either. So that would have been Austin versus Yianni. But instead, now it's going to be Anthony Ashnault versus Yianni. And I think this is a really, really fascinating matchup. Anthony has made no secret. His goals are to make the team at 65 kilograms. He really thinks he can be the guy. And, here's a great litmus test for Anthony against, a guy that's certainly on the short list for wrestlers that's going to make the team in Yianni.
Yeah. I was really disappointed in Ashnault, not just because I picked him and I looked like an idiot, but I really genuinely thought he could give Bajrang a good go. And, out of the 3 matches that Bajrang wrestled, and 4 if you count the Zane one, obviously Zane beat him. But James Green and Lugo both looked significantly better against Bajrang than Anthony did. I thought it just looked like Anthony was completely overpowered when, I thought Bajrang was going to be the smaller guy. I didn't see that one coming. And obviously I realized he's really powerful, but Anthony, wrestled 70 kilograms. He was coming down to the 150-pound bracket. And I thought he might be able to overpower Bajrang a little bit. And that just wasn't the case at all. Not even a little bit.
Maybe, on the one hand, I do think Bajrang was smaller. I just think he's just just one of those crazy strong guys. 2, I wonder how much the Henderson-Ashnault match helped or hindered Anthony in that, I don't know, he was shooting, he was getting countered some. It wasn't like the cleanest win for Anthony. It was a really tough, hard-fought match against a tough guy, and was he either zapped from that? Is it just a bad matchup with Bajrang? Because to your point, I think if Lugo and Ashnault wrestle, I think that's a pretty competitive match, but Lugo did far better against Bajrang than Anthony did.
You would favor Anthony, wouldn't you? If it's Lugo Anthony?
I think so.
Well,
I don't know. Lugo looked
I
really
realized it was
good.
I realized it was 2 years ago, but in the same bracket, they took 1st place and 8th place.
And they wrestled once. It was a really close match.
Sudden
victory for
Which year?
Ashnault.
That
Yeah,
year?
he won.
The year he won.
Man, I'm blanking on that match.
It was in Carver. Wow.
It's classic Jinx.
Jinx. So I get Lugo's been very active too, which has been great, and we get to see him this weekend against James Green. And then part of my curiosity, because James Green would do this, and then same with Pat Lugo, is none of these guys are actually making 65, right? They're making 67 or 68. 65 is going to be. I feel like Lugo is really big for that weight class. James Green,
Yes.
we know, has struggled with it before. I got to assume Anthony Ashnault is going to struggle with it. Don't you think?
Well, I thought so, and then so we were. I don't think Anthony will mind me saying this, but we were trying to get him on the card late when we were scrambling when the Burger Wick thing all went down. Hey, would you be able to? And then obviously he's wrestling Yianni, so it wouldn't have worked out for the 9th. But he's light. He was like, while I was texting him, he was like 155 or 154 right then. So right, like just
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So
Great.
he's small. He's working himself down there, but still, I mean, he's still 10 pounds out. But if you're walking around at that in the middle of the day, that would indicate that you're on your way down. I think one of Yianni's big assets is that he's like probably he's perfectly sized for it. I don't think he's too big for it. I think it's a comfortable cut. I wonder about Zane. He's made it. He's done a good job making it in the past. But he's also
I've heard it's hard for him.
I heard that too. And the year, so remember he won his final title at 49. Remember he didn't wrestle that year. He didn't try to make the world team that year.
Yeah, you're right.
And the thought was, or what was theorized, because I don't think we'll ever hear from him or anyone, but was that it would have been a really fast turnaround from Nationals to the Open to get down to 43 and a half. And so he just wanted to take the year. Remember, a few Penn State guys, I think, did. And they just kind of...
Well, that was the year almost nobody wrestled, right?
Yeah.
Mark didn't. I don't know if Bo did.
I don't think so.
I don't think like anybody.
Yeah.
It was weird.
But it was the end of their kind of big run. And so anyway, I wonder if it is tough for him. He's not particularly tall, but he is thick. He's got big legs, big, strong upper body. But, you think about Final X, no problem seemingly. And then the special wrestle off looked fine. And, even at the Open, which I always forget. Sometimes I feel like sometimes the Open is not scratch or whatever. It has like sort of different weigh-in rules. But regardless,
I think it's always been scratch. I don't remember it ever being plus weight.
Yeah. So he did that, and he looked fine. He lost to Yianni, but Yianni was just absolutely on fire there. So I wonder about him. But some of these guys, yeah, their size is a real problem. That's one thing that I think helps McKenna too. I think McKenna is like a true 65 kilogram guy.
Yeah. That's the a few. There really needs to be more weight classes, and they didn't have 70 or 61 for a couple of years there. It's been so nice since they added it, but now it's almost like our gap, because we've had a 2-year Olympic window now with the pushing back of it. So we've almost had no 61 and 70 for like a 2-year period rather than just a 1-year period.
Right. How would you, if you were an odds maker for Yianni Ashnault, what would you do?
Well, after watching the 150 tournament, Yanni's the clear favorite, I think.
Mhm.
He beat James Green twice at the RTC Cup. He looked pretty good there. And then, obviously, like I said, Anthony Ashnault was kind of a little below where my expectations of him were going to be for the 150-pound tournament. I would also be curious as to what the weigh-in rules are, but you're saying that Anthony's really small, so maybe I'm thinking that's an issue and it's not. I would go Yianni the favorite. Nothing crazy, but definitely a solid favorite.
I would guess they're weighing in around 150. I have no idea, but that would be my thought. What about Bracky? What would you put the line at? I say like 1.5.
I was literally going to say for Yianni, yes.
So right there in striking distance. I mean, Yianni. I mean, he has blown out some really good guys. He's tech Jordan Oliver in the past, but I just see this match more like in the James Green Yianni vein, where even though those were criteria victories, so I don't know if it'll be that close, but I think it'll be sort of like that. I think it's going to be close. I think Anthony is he's athletic enough that it's not going to be super easy for Yianni to get to him, and he'll be solid in the scrambles. I wonder, you know what else is interesting? The Henderson factor, right? He just wrestled a quote Cornell guy coached by Mike Gray, a couple weeks ago. Now he's going to face Yianni. How much intel do they take from there? They are so different,
you think intel which way?
Well, from Coach Gray from Henderson to Gray to Yianni, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking. I guess initially maybe I misunderstood. I thought you were saying that Anthony would be gathering information about Henderson and Cornell Yianni based on wrestling Henderson.
Absolutely not.
They're just they're too different for that. Yeah, I would say that they've probably seen Anthony enough that the one match isn't going to make that much difference. Hey, the other thing when we're talking about gambling. Because I do love gambling, Christian. I don't know if you know this.
It's a funny thing. I feel like you would be a guy that would not like gambling.
Why?
But I know you do. I don't know.
I love it.
Because you're very pragmatic.
Gambling makes everything more fun.
It does.
So, anyways, listen. Don't develop a gambling addiction. Don't gamble with money you don't have. But if you can be disciplined enough,
if it's
to gamble
other
with money
people's
you have,
money, that's fine.
Or it's like. If it's money you already have, then whatever, it's cool. It's a lot of fun. One of the things I would like you guys to do on the gambling side is you guys always do the lines, plus, plus 1.5, plus 2, whatever. But the other thing is just from a winning losing perspective, with UFC, because obviously they don't have points, the main line is like a plus 200 or minus 200. And you have to think about it in those terms, like how likely is this guy to win? So like if I said Christian Piles versus Thomas Gilman, Christian, you'd be like a plus 7,000. Right? I would get 70.
I don't know if they'd list this one. You know what? My strategy would be I would have to incite violence on Thomas. I'd need 3.
Get disqualified.
Yeah, I gotta get him DQ'd.
Okay, so anyways, it'd be like you get 70 times your money for betting on Christian because he's so unlikely to win. If we put odds like that, so this one, I would probably put Yianni at like a minus 150, which means you got to bet 150 to win, and then conversely,
win 100.
Ashnault, to win 100. Ashnault will be like a plus 140, which that means you got to bet 100 to win 140. I think. Sometimes thinking in those terms, because sometimes you want to just worry about who's going to win and who's going to lose and not really think about the squirrel too much. And especially with freestyle.
Yeah.
Criteria. I don't want to say, and I don't want to say there's no skill to it, but, lots of times it's a 2-point match and the guy loses by 2. Well, he's not just going to stand there and then just lose by 2, right? He's going to go for something. And so now all of a sudden it's a 4-point or a 6-point match. When it really should have been, in all fairness, a 2-point match, but because he wanted to go for it,
that's gambling, baby.
That's gambling.
That's gambling. It happens all the time in football. These BS garbage time touchdowns.
Kyle,
it swings things millions of dollars in Vegas.
Wow.
So I didn't say you had to be a dumb gambler. I didn't say you had to be a dumb gambler. So sometimes you want to be a smart gambler. So you just want to be concerned with who's going to win and who's going to lose.
So you want money.
You don't want to worry about the score.
Yeah, that's what he says.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm on money line sometimes because sometimes it is so hard to predict, especially in freestyle. Folk style, guys are just going to ride it out, right? If they're winning by 3, they're going to finish the ride out or whatever. Freestyle, though, the points can sway so far at the end of a match.
Yes, very
true.
Think
of a great example would be Etchemendia and James Green. I mean, that was a tied match until 20 seconds left?
Yeah.
30 seconds left? Yeah. So that'd be like a great example. And then also it's 10.
Right.
Yeah.
No, very good points. I feel like it's easier to come up with the spread than the money line. And I think that's probably why we do it.
Well, the other thing, at high level wrestling, you don't get away with as much because in fighting, especially, and I can't speak on football, Kyle, because I don't know damn about football. I don't know anything, so maybe you can say this. But in fighting, there are more there's more dynamic ways to win. So like someone who's supposed to win cannot win because they get submitted or knocked out or whatever. And in wrestling, those shocking pins, like a Lujan versus Gabe Dean, like that doesn't happen all that often. I don't want to say never, but it's relatively rare where someone does something like that. Where in fighting, it's not nearly that rare. You're going to see it once or twice per night, right? Every time you watch fighting, once or twice per night, someone's going to have a shocking upset, knockout, or submission.
Yeah, I would say it is probably rare. Although I don't know anything. Like you don't know anything about football. I don't know anything about fighting. Although you brag to be some star nose tackle, as I recall, Dan.
I nice swim over, grab the shoulder pad, swim over the top, go get the quarterback. 120 pounds, big. But yeah, so all right. I didn't wrap up my point there. So my point would be that most of these lines would be relatively close. So like you're not going to see many in wrestling on your card. Like I don't. If I look at the card for Saturday, I can't think of one match that I'm like, this guy's a 3-1 favorite. You know, whereas that definitely does happen in fighting relatively frequently. You're going to have a 3-1 favorite, and it's not that rare. That's just, you guys aren't putting together matches because at a high level, wrestlers aren't that spread apart.
Yeah. I unfortunately believe that the very first match is going to be the Tristan versus McKee. I think that's going to be a tough one.
Tristan's the underdog for sure.
He's a dog. But he's a pinner. That's how you like your underdogs. Yes. Okay. The other matches of note on that card, Kyle Dake versus David McFadden. McFadden, he had a really nice win over Tommy Gant. He was at the Rage in the Cage, Wrestling Underground. I thought he looked really good there. But obviously against Kyle Dake, I feel like it's just like, how's Kyle Dake going to look is really the story here. What's he look like? We haven't seen him wrestle since Chamizo? Is that right?
I don't think so.
July?
I think that's right.
When?
Yeah. He didn't wrestle at RTC Cup.
Yeah.
So July 25th. So first time we've seen Kid Dynamite. Do you think this is a tech fall match, or do you think McFadden can make it interesting?
Well, McFadden's a lot bigger, which is the one thing that interests me a little bit. But I mean, so when we're talking about lines or odds to tech fall, Kyle's got such good gut. So he's not just a takedown guy. A takedown guy needs 5 takedowns. Kyle probably needs about 2.5 takedowns because he's probably gonna score an average of 1 turn every time he gets on top.
There used to be half takedowns for like 3 months in USA Wrestling.
Oh my God. Listen, there's been some really bad rules. That might have been one of the worst.
Apparently, it was a rule that we were only doing in America. Like no one else got the memo or whatever. Because I remember when we were going off about it. They were like, "Yeah, no one else is calling this. Somehow USA Wrestling is calling all those takedowns points from the open through trials." That's how Tony Ramos beat Nico in 2014. He beat him with an almost takedown. It was like a 1-1 match, I think, and he won on an almost takedown.
Yeah. The other rule that was really terrible, and that it was stuck around for so long, you just kind of accepted it. And now that it's gone, I guess, at least for me, I think, wow, this is so tremendous because of just the nitpicky arguments. Is that when they hit their elbow versus being up on their hands on a turn, they would give 1 point versus 2 points. That was just so stupid.
Yeah, the hand.
Now every turn's 2 points. Hand. So dumb.
Yeah, yeah, that was a weird one. Yeah, hand-to-hand was silly.
But then everyone would fight about, no, the elbow hit.
Yeah, and then you're just like, yeah, that was bad, man. Oh, that one's gone.
So
there was also another one. This one screwed Gilman way back in the day. Go behinds. Like, if your opponent shot and you ran behind, it either didn't count or didn't count as like a full takedown type of thing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you don't remember this? Gilman in...
What? No, that never happened.
Oh, promise. Yes, this is a real thing. Gilman in, man, it would have been 2012 maybe, was it was either a cadet or a junior team. It wasn't the year he got cadet bronze or junior bronze.
You go behind someone, you don't get a takedown?
Yes. This was a real thing. Do you remember
What?
this?
No.
I'll find it.
I do not remember that.
I'll find it for next year or for next show tomorrow. This is a real thing that
I do not
happened.
remember that.
It happened to, I forget what the exact like interpretation of the rule was. I'm sure Nomad remembers. Maybe John Kozak would remember, but this was a real thing. I wonder if anyone in the Facebook chat remembers, but it definitely.
I don't
definitely
remember
happened.
this.
Yes, I
What?
think he even got the spin behind, and I think they even like put him right back up afterwards. Like, no, this doesn't count.
I think, Christian, I think that might have been just for the one tournament you were watching, because I do not remember that at all.
I remember it.
I really
like,
don't.
Like it was just
You
6
remember it?
years ago.
For real?
Yeah. I remember it. I don't think it was like I think it was like the almost takedown thing. It was like this, like a couple month era, or this was a thing. And they're like, wait, this is really bad. Let's get rid of it. John Kozak,
Bracky,
I'm
you
not
don't remember
describing
this,
a
do you?
dream. Now, John, that's rude.
Yeah, I think you are. I think you are. 'cause
I'm gonna
no
have
one
receipts.
remembers this.
I'm gonna dunk on all you guys tomorrow. This happened to Gilman. This happened. I'm gonna find it because it happened.
Christian, just because it happened in one match doesn't mean it was like some
Or
rule like
it
you're
wasn't a
talking about.
rule and the refs were just cheating him.
Yeah.
No,
that's way
Dad,
more
go on
likely.
it. It was a thing. It was a thing. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna show it, and I'm gonna party. I'm gonna throw a big party, and you two aren't invited. I'll invite the people that believed in me. This happened. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Bracky, you were like
I
a
don't
senior
think
at
so.
Parkersburg High when this happened.
I don't think so, Christian.
All right.
I remember
If
the
you
hand
hit
to
a
hand.
goal
That was the
behind,
rule
you're-
when I started wrestling. The
You're
turn.
saying if you hit a go behind, it doesn't count as a takedown. You're saying that was a rule.
It was something like that. It was like called like a defensive thing. I'm gonna find it. You know what? Let's not even talk about it anymore. Tomorrow, I'm gonna come with the fire. We're gonna start the show with the receipts. Okay? We're gonna show the match and
Listen, but again, just because you have one match where it happens, I need to see a rule book or something.
okay.
Because I do not believe you because it happened in one match.
All right. I'll come with everything I can find.
You need to get a rules expert on the show tomorrow for me to believe you.
What do you think I am?
Not a rules expert.
Fair. Okay. I don't know how we got there exactly, but we got there. Oh yeah.
Okay.
2.5 takedowns to the almost takedown to the go behind takedown. All right, I
You
remember.
said you could get a half a takedown.
There was a time, a golden era. So McFadden versus Dake. I think obviously Dake's a favorite against just about everyone. Feel like he's gonna be itching to make kind of a statement in this match. But I like McFadden.
Yeah.
I like his arc here. I think at 79 kilograms, especially if like Dake and Burroughs stay down there at 74 and just battle each other for all eternity, he'll be a guy that could be interesting on the ladder there.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking through you guys' gambling odds on your site. I like Joe McKenna at -2.5. That's one I would pick. I think he's gonna control that match. I know Nishan looks big in that picture that you guys are citing, but
The picture with him where he's like literally bigger than James Green.
I think he's maybe just standing in front of him or something, like a little closer than James Green, because he does look he looks the same size as James Green, but
His
I
arms
never, ever
are
in my life-
enormous. He's got
I never
the.
in my life thought Sean Garrett was that big.
I know. I don't think he's ever been this big.
Huh.
He's enormous. So, yeah, so you think McKenna a huge or you think he's gonna put up big points against
I think
Nishan?
I think he's gonna control the match. Get it, I would say 2 to 3 takedown win.
And he's got the X factor of a really good top game. We know Nishan can get turned from time to time. So, but Nishan's got his own X factor where he can score on just about everybody.
Do you remember, speaking of terrible freestyle rules, you remember when they made a big emphasis on the correct throw? And that's how J.O. beat
Oh, that was so
J.O.
bad,
beat
too.
Zane at U.S. Open.
That was wild.
That was so bad.
That was wild. Yeah, I do remember that. That was crazy. That was crazy. Okay. I'm still thinking
Let's
about
talk
this.
about other terrible freestyle
Slips
rules.
are terrible.
They're still a thing too.
Slips are still a thing. I feel like they get rid of slips now, and in 5 years, we'll be like, remember when you could just like, a guy could dig an underhook and you'd be about to get taken down, and you could go, whoosh. And like, for the most part, they get it right. But every now and again, they mess it up. It gets messed up. If you get taken down, you got taken down. It should just be points. Like, if you try a throw, I get what they're trying to do. I get what they were thinking when they said, okay, if you tried a thing, we want to encourage risk taking. But that's not what happens here.
Yeah.
So let's get
Terrible.
rid of Jed Cox. I'm not slipping. You're slipping, Jed Cox. I swear. I'm gonna get screenshots of all the haters and you two. And tomorrow
Christian,
I'm gonna
how
come
are you
with the
gonna,
rule.
how are you gonna prove this?
I'm gonna figure it out. I'll figure it out.
You show us one match doesn't prove anything.
I'm gonna cancel the rest of my day. I'm gonna spend the rest of my day doing a deep dive on this. And I'm gonna come back with receipts. I think Nomad's probably gonna be able to help me out here. There's some other people I may hit up. I'm gonna get some help. And we're gonna make it happen. Bracky's trying to bias Nomad against me right now as we speak, but it's not gonna work. He'll be on the side of truth. Okay. So that's McFadden. Then Gabe Dean versus Mike Machiavello.
That's a fun one to me.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I'll favor Gabe just because he's looked so good recently, but I think I don't see any way this isn't a super close match.
Well, the other thing he's been Gabe's been competing at 86 the whole time, and
Right.
Mike Mock is much bigger. So I think there's an advantage there. But yeah, I think it's gonna be very, very close because neither one's super dynamic offensively. Both are really good positionally and defensively. Neither one really gets tired, so I see it being a super close match.
Yes, I agree with that. And then Vito is wrestling Kolioko from Penn, or as Ben called him once, Calaccio.
It's a good name. It's a good name.
It's a great name. Vito will obviously be a pretty big favorite there, although Kolioko had a really good showing at U23s. So excited to watch him again. As the Ivies don't have a season, that's big time. That big time stinks, but oh well. All right. Let's go. Where do we want to go next? Look at it. It's interesting. There's a ton of duels this weekend, and there's like some good teams wrestling. But it's one of those weekends where like the matchups just don't match up. Like it's not. There's no big time at like Nebraska, Minnesota. You say, ooh, super juicy duel, but it's like the studs don't really align. Like Gable wrestled Christian Lance. So Christian Lance, by the way,
he had a great U.S. Open.
If it weren't Gable Steveson, I'd be so interested in it. But it's Gable. Like Christian Lance against like Cassiope, against Hilger, against et cetera, et cetera. Anyone not named Mason Paris or Gable Steveson, I'm interested. But it's like, well, it's Gable. So that's going to be unfortunate. I'm excited to watch Peyton Robb versus Baylor Fernandez in that duel. I like Baylor. Michael Blockus versus, I'm more than anything, I want to see what Nebraska does at 149. Is it going to be Kevon Davenport? Are we going to see Brock Hardy? Could it be Javon Parrish? Like who's it going to be for them? And similarly at 141, Chad Red. What's the 33 guy that's bumping up?
Ridge Lovett.
Ridge Lovett at 41. Who do they send out there? As we've seen, these teams are, juggling lineups and whatnot. And with all the...
It's so annoying that they don't have, like, an open tournament to figure this out. I mean, they only have so few matches. I mean, the Big Ten teams is 9 matches, Christian, to figure out what they're going to do here.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. They're going to have tough decisions. Now, what is cool is... Yeah, this is the match. Bracky found the match.
Nomad found the match.
Yeah.
Well, just because you found one match, that doesn't prove anything to me, Christian.
So Nomad remembers the match, and but he does not know if it was a rule or the officials just up to some shady stuff.
No, it was.
That's obviously what happened. The officials are always up to shady stuff.
No, it was a thing. I'll figure it. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry. It's gonna be All the truth will come out.
He was wrestling a Bulgarian in Bulgaria. It's absolutely the
Oh,
officials just choosing not to give a takedown.
Obviously what it is. It's obviously.
No. You'll see.
Yes.
You'll see. You'll all
it's
see.
a Bulgarian. They just cheated him, Christian.
We'll see them all at the finish line. That's all I got to say.
Oh, and guess what? The Bulgarian won by a point.
I know he won.
Yes.
He got hosed.
Oh, he got hosed.
Oh, it wasn't.
Yeah, he got
It
hosed,
wasn't
but
the rule,
the rule hosed him. It was a thing.
It wasn't the rule. Did a Bulgarian tell you this was the rule too, Christian?
I'm gonna figure it out. Don't worry. I'm gonna have my day in court, and it'll be better.
Let's just ask Thomas about it.
Yeah.
They gave one red
man.
right there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We're gonna have to do a full deep dive into this.
Gilman was in on a
match.
single and had this guy up on 1 foot hopping, walked him to the edge, and they said Gilman stepped out.
Listen. Is it more? Yeah. All right.
You
Move
got
on.
cheated more than once.
Yes, this is really bad.
What I was gonna say, these duels, they're not. It's not just the 10 matches. They're allowed to do like exhibitions afterwards. So,
But they weren't doing that many last weekend. Like in the quad, I thought they should have done more. I mean, especially with some of the better kids, like mix them up a little bit. Let these dudes get some matches.
Yeah.
In the quad, yeah, like the NDSU quad, they definitely did not, because I mean, most teams there got 3 matches, but in the like one-off duels, like NC State Gardner Webb, they had like 20 exhibition matches.
They did?
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, so we'll maybe if we don't see Kevon or Brock get the start, maybe we'll see them get some exhibition matches. I'm sure both teams will want to do that and give their guys some bouts. Now they're exhibitions, but they count for the record. Do they count for like NCAA purposes and whatnot?
Yeah, they're matches.
yeah.
They're legit matches against D1 wrestlers. So
Okay.
yeah.
So that's good. Another interesting duel: Rutgers versus Michigan. You know, for me, I just want to see who Michigan goes with at a couple different weights, particularly 125. We talked about Ragusin or Jack Medley, who we would see there. And I just want to get the first look of, like, you know, Michigan's a title contending team. How do they look this year? They'll probably be the best team to have wrestled so far. The rest of the Big Ten gets started next week. So we'll get the first look at, like, one of the true big guns in action, which is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's not very many good matches, and I kind of searched some other teams over here, and I thought maybe you were forgetting about somebody. I couldn't find anyone you're forgetting about.
Okay. I
Like
forget
real
a
big
lot of
matches.
things, but I don't forget obscure freestyle rules, and I don't forget
You know,
big matches.
yeah, you know what you guys made me think of too? I don't know if you guys remember this. 2012 Olympic trials. Were you guys there or no? You guys watch?
I wasn't there.
I was not there.
I didn't qualify.
Okay. Well, I wasn't wrestling at that point either. Max wrestled. I can't remember. He maybe took 4th or something. But Jake Herbert versus I think it was Travis Paulson. I can't remember if it was the main tournament final or the wrestle off. I don't recall. But I'm blanking on the sequence, but I remember the gist of it. Jake Herbert shot this man out, and Travis Paulson like jumped both feet in the air and had his hands on him, and Herbert's knee slid out while Paulson was like in the air, and they gave Paulson a point.
Oh,
You
I don't
remember this?
that. I
We need
remember.
to find film of it.
Yeah,
It was so obnoxious. It was so ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't remember that specific exchange, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. Other big matches going on. I mean, South Dakota State versus UNI. Our first look at the Panther train. Excited to watch Jack Sklarczyk, the pride of Austin, Texas. He's got to be one of the best Texas wrestlers last couple of years. Other
How
than
many
like, Bo
D1
or
wrestlers
AJ.
have there ever been from Austin, Texas? Not Dallas, Austin.
Oh boy, I have no
Just him?
idea. I
Yeah.
mean, he's the only one that I know of. I'm sure there have been others, but I don't know. There's a kid from Vandegrift High School that did pretty well at one of the that Michigan tournament. I can't recall, but Other than
Oh
that,
yeah, I forget his name now. Yeah,
he's pretty good though.
yeah. Riley Jacobs is at Columbia. He started
That's
some for
right.
them, and
He's
he's
good.
from
Yeah.
Vandegrift. Yeah, it's not a lot, man.
I mean, it's hard. There's not a lot of good clubs or whatever. It's just not a part of the scene.
Football is king down here.
It's big time. We'll get there. We'll get there along. You know, we got the 512 Outlaws, Ben. You gotta come check
Yeah.
them out.
That's the club. That's the club.
That's the club, baby.
Is that the
Noah
your club?
Gotchberg is the kid, by the way.
Well, it's not my club. It's where Caleb goes, though.
Oh, I went
Yeah.
to Outlaws. Nice. I like it.
Yeah, we're pretty edgy. Pretty edgy group.
I mean, you guys should be able to get them some good clinicians once in a while with all the people that come in to visit Flo every now and then.
Mike Gray did one a couple weeks ago. Mike Gray comes here once a month because he always has an athlete in our events. He's been here like 4 or 5 times.
Definitely.
So yeah, he's done one. It's tough because these college coaches can't do clinics with high school wrestlers there because it's still a dead period.
Oh, because it's a dead period. I was gonna say you get the rules wrong again, Christian. They're messing up all kinds of stuff today.
No, I have.
Holy
this one.
crap! I didn't even think about that. Because it's
Yeah.
been a dead period since March.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, wait. So because Mike Gray only did it for little kids. Got it.
Right.
Wow. Oh, that's so dumb. Wow. I didn't even think about that.
So it's like, dude, this is like, it's a really
This is
good
incredibly
side
dumb.
hustle for these coaches to be
Yeah.
able to do all these clinics. Like, you could really, if you hustle, you can make a lot of extra money. These things pay pretty freaking well.
Yeah.
So they were, tough year for.
Don't watch this Gilman match. It'll just piss you off.
Oh, they screwed him.
It's so
Brackett,
Ben. It is so
sitting there
bad.
stewing.
The
He's
officials
there
just
taking his coat off soon.
the officials talking to him the entire time. The other guy took one shot the entire match, and they're always talking to Gilman about his hands, or the other guy's grabbing Gilman's hand and he's shaking and trying to show the ref, and then they talk to Gilman about
As
it.
they
It's
should.
I mean, this is atrocious, but
Sneaky
there
Bulgarian.
was no part like you're talking about.
Okay, then it wasn't this match.
Okay.
But
this match is
someone's
really
story's
bad.
it was 2013 Junior Worlds. I don't know. Stop distracting me with this. I've moved on. I'm gonna figure it out later. We can't watch the match now. No one else can see it. Bad radio. You're creating bad radio.
No, we'll do it live.
I don't want to. Okay.
Because you're wrong.
I'm not. No. Just wait. Okay. Why don't we go to questions? What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it. Are we doing picks for this weekend tomorrow?
I figured tomorrow would be a pick-a-palooza.
Yeah.
Did he win or lose the
got it.
match?
He lost.
They said
We
Gilman
lost
loses.
Bracky for
Oh,
the
yeah.
show.
I'm done.
Bracky's done.
Yeah, see you guys.
It's just you and me, Ben. All right. From Michael Shelton, diehard Virginia Tech Hokie fan. Which top 15 teams have the most upside? He really wants us
top
to say.
15?
But I'll play ball, Michael Shelton. I'll say the Virginia Tech Hokies. They have crazy upside because there's a guy, Ben. This guy's going to become a name. You don't know the name
Who?
yet. His name is Andy Smith. He's a 97-pounder for Virginia Tech. He looks about
that?
He's maybe 14 years old. I'm not sure. But this kid can really wrestle. I really like him. I didn't know anything about him.
Is it a joke you're telling me? Am I missing something?
It's not a joke.
No, I think he could be
Not
like
a
this
joke.
year's Gas Tank Gary.
He could be another gas tank Gary.
Yes, I think Gary didn't score very many points at NCAAs last year. If there wasn't NCAAs last year, he scored
wait,
like
what?
2.5. If
He
there
didn't
was NCAAs last year, Gaston Gary would have scored 2.5 points.
The hell's
Bite
your
your
problem?
Who do you think you are?
That's one win on the backside, one win on the front side, and a half-point major.
I mean,
I'm giving Gaston
what
Gary.
is going on?
Who
This is a
did-
Gas
That's
Tank
the
Gary
top-
podcast.
That's the top 16 finish, guys. Deal with it.
I don't know what's below a co-host or whatever. We have to give you a title demotion for the show.
You're
Guess?
not an industry leader anymore.
Yeah. You're a hater. You're a hater on the fuel industry.
Listen here.
Is he in the pocket of Big Oil?
He was the 19th seed, and he had a nice matchup against Carter Isley first round.
Very
He's
winnable.
winning that match.
Very winnable.
He's winning that match.
I
And then
just said He won a front side, and he won a backside, and he even got a major. That's about what Gaston Gary would have done.
He's a blood round type guy at minimum.
Minimum.
Oh God. Oh
Yeah.
God, you guys are.
I can't believe you.
He's knocking off Cassiope in round 2, no doubt. And
I'm sick.
yeah. So he just has to beat
So
Cassiope and Hilger to make the semis.
Knocked up Cassiope. No, he did not go. So he lost to Cassiope. Like I said, he won one. He lost one. He won one on the backside, and he got a major there, and then he lost. That's
Listen,
about
dude.
what would have happened.
Gas Tank Gary in the regular season, he's playing chess. He's not showing his hand. He's not going to give you the full 93 unleaded. You're not getting that. He saves it for 2 places, the Cavelli Center, and NCAA tournament. And we would have seen, he would have had his day, just like I'm going to have my day tomorrow. He would have figured it out and made it happen in Minnesota.
I'm looking up
in
Andy
a freaking
Smith on the
football.
Virginia Tech roster.
Yes, he's 9 years old, but he's very good. He's strong. I think he's going to be a thing. I really do. I think he's good. Yeah, Seaberg.
So he's gonna beat Stanley Smeltzer.
He already did.
He beat him out.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Let's see. 5-time American state champion. Now, there's not much on him on his bio. He is 2-0 this year, though.
He's off the grid.
No bonus.
Yeah. No bonus yet.
Okay, so why are we talking about flipping Andy Smith? This
Because we're saying he's going to be a
God's
fan
sake.
Because
I'm talking about Sam Latona or something, like a guy who
that's
can
all
make
part.
it happen.
Listen, that's what everyone knows. Sam Latona and Bryce Andonian and Hunter Bola and all
Or
those guys.
Andonian.
We already talked about those guys. I'm giving the people come here for insight and new names and something that's maybe a little more surprising. So I think, I think Virginia Tech is a good candidate there. I'm going to pull up the rankings.
They need more from. They need more from 57.
Yeah, I really. They have between Connor Brady and Clay Ulrey. I kind of expected that to be a solid weight for them.
Let me go. I gotta get the. I'm searching freaking Virginia Tech, and I'm not searching the top 15 in the rankings. So
okay, so here's the teams. I'll start at 15 and work my way down. Pitt, Purdue, Arizona State, Minnesota, Northwestern, Rutgers, Virginia Tech, Ohio State, Nebraska, Iowa State, and then I'm not gonna say Penn State or any of those guys. Honestly,
you guys aren't even talking about Missouri. I'm calling Missouri because we got Keegan O'Toole, freshman. We got Rocky Elam's going to bring some heat at 197 pounds. He's pretty damn good. It appears that Josh Edmond could be in the lineup. If not, Alan Hart's good there. Connor Brown's doing decent at 125. Zach Elam. I mean, so we're talking about team. Zach Elam is 8th in your ratings right now. He could be an All-American. Rocky Elam could be an All-American. 84, Jeremy Kent's decent.
He tried the arm throw. That's why they brought it up.
He could have 3.
It's not that. That's not that.
Guys, I'm trying to talk about
I know,
the top
he won't
15
stop.
Team. Stop, Becky. You're ruining the show. They got Mahler. They got JQs, O'Toole, Mako. They could have 3 All-Americans. That's like 5 All-Americans. That's a top 6-7 finish.
For sure. I was going to say the 2 16th ranked teams, UNC and Missouri, I both think have upside, especially.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Missouri. I mean, listen.
UNC's got good upside for sure.
Absolutely. So I honestly like their upside more than like a Minnesota, I feel like is stuck. Like they're not going to move up. Like Gable's number 1. That's where he's going to probably finish, right? But I don't see, Brayton Lee can maybe climb a couple rungs, but beyond that. So I think you're looking for guys with multiple bullets, right? And Missouri definitely fits that bill. UNC definitely fits that bill. They got to get Keegan in there, though. Over the years we had pull the bull, free the Lee, enable the Gable. We need something for O'Toole. Don't be a fool. Wrestle O'Toole. You got to get him in there, Ben. Pull some strings. You launched this program. You and Brian Smith and Max Askren launched it. You gotta get influential here. You gotta say, listen, it's my guy's time. You gotta do the exact opposite thing you would ever do.
I don't ever do that.
All right. Fine.
But even regardless of that, that's Yeah, I mean, who I just laid out, they could very easily get 5 All-Americans. And honestly, those other guys that I didn't, Connor Brown, Matt Schmidt, and then who's ever 41, Hart or Edmond, they can score some points too. I mean, Mizzou could have a really solid team come NCAAs.
Yes, I think they're going to be very solid. No holes. I'm curious what
Why
they
do
do
you guys
at
have them
41.
ranked so low? Why do you guys have them ranked so low? What's your
It's
problem?
Oh my God, here we go.
Here we go again.
Okay, Rocky Elam's not ranked.
Okay.
Alan Hart's like 15th or something
It's
like
like-
that.
Yeah.
Hart at
basically
14,
no points.
Schmidt at 14,
Schmidt literally
Connor
just lost
Brown.
this weekend.
Connor Brown 24.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you want? Who do you want higher?
Who should be higher and
Yeah,
why?
Tell me why.
Other than you went to the school there.
Yeah.
Well, how are they 16th if they got 5 All-Americans?
They don't have 5 All-Americans. They could have 5 All-Americans.
Well, yeah, they don't have 5 All-Americans right now.
How many All-Americans do they have on their
Oh,
roster?
you got
Pro-
Mako at 19th? Jeez Louise.
Who's he beat?
Everybody?
No, he has no.
Oh, Ben.
Kent 23. Okay, 23 for Kent. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. You guys need to work on your
All right, let's check out Peyton Maka's best wins last year.
Yeah, let's go. Give me the greatest hits of Peyton Mako. Not Steve. Peyton.
That's his cousin.
So far, Austin Hiles is his best win.
Number 87, according to WrestleStat.
Austin Yant.
Solid.
Yeah. What else you got?
Not much.
Ben.
Oh man. Okay, fine.
Is that the
Chase Straw.
No, it's
Mizzou is my call.
It's
I'm
Oleanic.
predicting the future. I'm
There you
predicting
go.
my future. Mizzou moves up. Deal with it, guys.
Okay. I don't know the answer to this question. Maybe Ben will have an idea. What was the scholarship rule in Gable's time? I'm assuming he wasn't limited to the 9.9. I think it was different then.
I think it was just a little bit higher. I don't think it was that. I don't think it was that much higher. I want to say 11 or 12, somewhere in there.
Okay. Who, EJ Newton, who in your opinion is the best American wrestler that never won a medal at Worlds or the Olympics?
Those questions are way too hard. This is like the one we need to take questions like this and actually literally dedicate segments to them where we do some research. Because like the one that was last week, was it 2 weeks ago when they said who had the best international career compared to college career, and we threw some names out there. But I feel like there should be kind of like almost articles based on listener questions, because this is one that's like, I could throw out some names, but then I would, I know I'd forget like 7 people.
Right.
So who's the name that comes to mind with?
Man, as
you?
far as no world medals, I don't know.
The guy we just did a flow film on, Britt Metcalf, comes to mind for me.
Yeah, he's good.
Here's a good one.
Brent's up there. I mean, who's like a great
Dude,
folk
say,
styler that never like?
Offhand, it's really challenging.
I mean, you would be up there, young Benjamin.
I appreciate that. I don't know. I have to look through the list before I consider myself.
Yeah, that's fine. Best American. I mean,
I
Mako.
feel so. Here's what I feel like. Just offhand, I feel like, maybe we would have to consider someone in the era where there wasn't 61, 70, and 79. Someone who's kind of just stuck behind people, who was really good but never quite got it done at the world level. And it could be because there was a really good representative. Like an Andrew Howe. Andrew Howe never even made the team because Jordan Burroughs was there and there was no 79.
Yeah, and he almost won the Urigan once. I think he got second. He lost on like a toe hold type of penalty. I'm gonna get yelled at that wasn't real too. He like did something with the toe and got a penalty. This all happened. Everything I say happened. I know
The toe thing's real.
The toe thing's real, and if that's real, it all was. All right. The Clark Griswold of Manitou asks, name one thing better than Mental Monday for parents and coaches. So a Mental Monday plug for Ben.
Someone's listening to Mental Monday. I appreciate that.
I love the Mental Mondays. Do you just basically like coach and then you think of like, oh, this is a thing I should do a thing? Or like, how does it come to you? Normally, like you kind of like give the impetus for your inspiration.
Yeah, well, I have opened it up for questions before, but now I feel like by this point, I've been doing it for like 5 years. I feel like I've talked about like every topic, so I don't get too many questions anymore. But then I also, because I've been talking about it for 5 years, I generally know where everyone's problems lie or close enough, you know? So like I generally like now I'm on a competitive thing where I'm going to do like 4 weeks in a row where I'm kind of talking about a similar topic.
Gotcha. So is there any other good resources for parents and coaches?
I mean, Wrestling Mindset, they do a pretty good job. Yeah, I would just say, I would say go to the sports psychology section at Barnes and Noble or something and start buying some books. I mean, that's how I got started. Start reading and figuring it out.
Awesome. Tony Pickard, this is probably the best question. Brandon Metz or Deuce Rashel? See, we've never seen them both at the same place at the same time, so we don't know.
Put him on the mat. Put him on the mat.
Oh man, put him on the mat. That is a guaranteed fall.
Well, it shouldn't be one match though. It should be the best 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
It should be at the same. It should be at the same event that has Hamida versus Don Bradley.
You know, I was like, you know what? This should be a pin only match. Like they can only be decided if there's a pin, but we don't have to put in that stipulation. That's going to happen regardless. We don't have to interfere in that way. They're going to try to pin each other, and someone will ultimately get pinned.
Yes.
So yes, I can't choose between the two. But right now, you got to ride the hot hand with Mets. And the real Avery Lynch wants to know top 5 food trucks in Austin. I don't really know. Ben's probably been to more food trucks in Austin than me. We used to go
crush some food trucks.
I know you are. Where did we put that falafel place we went was really good. The one time.
That was good. Yeah.
Where's
the one I went to? I went to one by myself last time. That the hotel you guys had the last couple events at was inconvenient because there was this gigantic intersection that only happens in Texas. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Like other states don't have these type of intersections. There's like 74 highways stacked on top of each other, and you can't walk across the intersection because it's like 4 miles wide. So I have to Uber everywhere, and I Ubered to this one just like filthy Mexican food truck, and it was like the greatest thing ever. It was actually really close to where Mark Bader and Joe Williamson used to live. I do not recall the specific apartment complex name or the street, but I know they lived like a block away because I passed their house. And, that's where Mark and Joe used to live. And then I ate by myself at this delicious food truck.
Nice. The place, what was it? The barbecue place we used to go. Those at the old HQ, Papa Joe.
I don't even remember the name.
Dang it, it's really good. It's on East Cesar Chavez. Then right across the street there, Taco Guerrero, aka Taco Lady. Taco Lady is really, really good. It's just
at the old HQ?
Yes.
That lady was the bomb.
She's an absolute legend. Taco Guerrero, if you go to Austin, East Cesar Chavez. It's bright orange. It's right behind a Payday Loans place that's been graffitied. Yeah. That's how you know you're in the
parking lot.
Yeah. It used to be just like a straight up shack. And then the last couple of years she upgraded. She's got like an actual like trailer type of thing. So she's moving on up in the world.
Yeah, actually, my buddy who owns Funky Fresh Spring Rolls is coming with me because I don't think he's ever seen anything like the Austin food truck scene. So I'm gonna take him around, show him around, give him a feel for what that looks like.
Funky Fresh Spring Rolls would absolutely blow up here. That would be huge. That would be huge. He should do it.
So we need some capital. You want to invest?
Yeah, certainly. Love to invest.
All right.
But can I borrow some money for that investment, Ben? Can I hold 10? Okay. All right. Well, 9:22 deep in the heart of Texas. It's a rainy one here in Austin. We're getting it out of the way before everyone comes and arrives, and we've got a great week planned here in Austin. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, Ben. I'm fired up for it.
Are you guys cutting us off so you can go get tacos?
No, Ben. You know we didn't have a ton of topics for today. It literally is a mere coincidence that on Wednesday.
Is it a mere coincidence that you don't have a lot of topics on Wednesday because there's delicious tacos sitting out there that you want to go eat?
I don't think that's it.
Sorry, I ruined today's show.
Bracky, you didn't ruin today's show.
Bracky's still trying to find the guilt.
Bracky actually, he did what Ben has the ADD thing. You know, Ben normally has that. Like he'll just take us off on a
I've
tangent.
never been that distracted. This is Christian. This has been going on for 40 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, you two lead the show anyways. I'm just the supporting cast here.
Oh man, I just want to get off the show to find this match now. To be honest with you. All right, we'll go. Thanks so much. Hey, tomorrow we're gonna show this Bracky McDonough armbar series. We forgot to show it today. Don't worry. You're gonna see Bracky grimace in pain. We're gonna watch Matt and Bracky's arms go numb. It was great technique. Thank you guys so much for listening. Tons of Burroughs, David Taylor content on the site. I hope you look at it and read it and watch it and ingest it and tell all your friends about it because it's going to be awesome. It's all happening. It's going to be a great weekend. The best weekend in wrestling in a really, really long time.
History.
Historic. Thanks so much, guys. See you tomorrow.